Hey, this is JP with Central Idaho Mountain Weather. It's July 13th, 2026. Looking at the mid-level water vapor map, you can see our heat dome is right where that H is and all that warm, rich colors. And then we have a low off the coast of Baja, Mexico, that is streaming in all this monsoonal moisture. So that's just wrapping around that high pressure. And throughout the week, we're going to have these surges of this monsoonal moisture that is going to affect how hot it is, when we're going to get thunderstorms, all depending on when those surges come through. So here's where those hurricanes or cyclones are going to start forming. You can kind of start to see that curl, and those will move outward on the coast but stream in some monsoonal moisture with them. All right, looking at the HER forecast for rain potential, we are going to see a couple showers later in the day. Looks like kind of the western edge of the sawtooth, and then maybe a couple pop up in the white clouds. And then through tonight, we might actually see some showers in the Smokies before sunrise, and then into the sawtooth before sunrise as well. And tomorrow afternoon, a big surge of moisture comes through for the afternoon hours. It looks like around, yeah, pretty much afternoon. There's going to be some shower activities in the Smoky Mountains to the west of Ketchum and Haley and go up into the Sawtooth. So that'll be good to have some moisture on the Cabin Creek fire, which we'll talk about here in a little bit. With those, there's going to be a slight chance of thunder showers each afternoon. It's going to be a little bit better chance for tomorrow afternoon. I don't think this is doing a good job of showing the potential. I think it's going to be further south as well because the Cape values look high enough that we could get some thunderstorms popping up. So be on the lookout for that. They do look like they might become drier throughout the week, so less moisture attached to them. As far as rainfall goes, we're going to see some measurable rainfall on Tuesday. So mostly for the western mountains, the Smokies, and the eastern mountains into the Lost River Range. This is looking good for the next week. We're going to be above normal for precipits. That monsoonal moisture is probably going to be the driver of that. And it's going to be fairly in and out of the clouds the next couple days till Wednesday. Looks like it starts to open up a little bit. It's going to keep the temperatures down a little bit more. It's going to be hot, but not as hot as it's been, keeping it in the 90s. And we're going to have chances for afternoon thunder showers as well. Okay, kind of doing a little talk about the Cabin Creek fire yesterday. This started yesterday afternoon, right above the Luther Heights Bible Camp location near Alturas Lake. So the northwest corner, Lazy River for reference is over here. And so this fire kind of started in a weird spot yesterday. There's no road or access to this specific area. The trail that goes up the Cabin Creek kind of goes up through here. So kind of an interesting spot for this fire to start. And there was no lightning that I saw either. So possibly maybe some camping up here. I'm not sure. This is the GPS location where the fire was. Anyways, it got into the stand here and was smoldering. They were hitting it pretty hard with aviation, which I was pretty surprised about to see how much fire retardant they were putting down here. But we're not in the wilderness area. We are, however, in the Salmon River corridor, so they put a little bit more protection on that area with how much retardant they throw down. We had a bunch of lats fly over here, large aircrafts with air tankers dropping fire retardant, 3 of them, I believe, and then lots of other seats. So those are smaller planes that can drop more precise locations. And then they finished out the day with 2 helicopters dipping into Alturas here and putting out hot spots. So, yeah, kind of like the things to keep in mind with this fire is it's burning right in here, so it has to go up this hillside here. Could go pretty fast if it got on that hillside, run up, and then it's going to hit another stand, and then another dry hillside. And they're most worried, I would say, about this area here out Valley View, where there's lots of homes right in the line of fire. That's still fairly far. I mean, it's close, but it's still fairly far away. On based on how much they hit it with aviation yesterday. I'd be surprised if they didn't get a wrap on it today. Looking at it this morning, there's no hot spots coming up on the radar or on the satellite, which is great. Air quality looks pretty good up there, so it doesn't look like it's been smoking overnight. We've had overnight humidities. Humidities are going to increase today with that monsoonal moisture working its way in there, so that's going to help keep the fire in check. So that's all I got for that fire. Moving on to the 500 millibar chart, you can see our heat dome still exists over central part of the U.S. When this shifts back and forth, it's going to wobble a little bit from west to east. Every time it wobbles east, it's going to allow more monsoonal moisture to wrap around the backside here. And that's going to bring in moisture, and depending on the time of the day, if it happens in the afternoon, that can activate some afternoon thunder showers. So kind of day to day, keep an eye on it. Tomorrow is a greater chance of afternoon thunder showers. We have this low that comes in from the west, and that's going to be a driver for the weekends, and then the cyclone forms off the coast too, so that'll inject a lot of monsoonal moisture as well. And this is the water vapor map kind of just showing that. So we have the surge that comes through tomorrow, Tuesday, and that dies out a little bit. And then as the cyclone comes up further, that's going to introduce more moisture for the weekend. And that's probably that indicator that we saw earlier showing that moisture potential for next week. Where was that? Showing this. All right, that's all I got for today. Quite a long morning briefing.